I will now be going over a brief synopsis of the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. So there's a Pokemon named Mew, and he's like the first Pokemon. He's like all other Pokemon are kind of like stemmed from him, or it. It's like a fetus-esque Pokemon. Flies around, and scientists are trying to replicate it, Mew, with its DNA. They get some of its DNA, and they make this a new Pokemon that's kind of like Mew, but he's bigger, and he's less fetus-like, and he's more like alien-esque. He's taller. He actually stands on, he's bipedal, as opposed to Mew, who just kind of floats. He's really strong, and he can talk with his mind. And the scientists are like, okay, we got Mew, we got Mewtwo. That's what we're gonna call him, Mewtwo. And Mewtwo's like, well, I'm not trying to be here anymore. And he literally just kills everyone, destroys the little lab on the island, and flies away. And there's an evil organization called Team Rocket, and the head of that organization's name is Giovanni. And they steal Pokemon. And he finds Mewtwo, and he's like, yo, team up with me, and I can help you. So he teams up with Giovanni, and Giovanni gives him this cool armor, and then they like fight. He makes him fight other Pokemon to show off how strong he is. And then he takes the armor off, and he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to fight Pokemon anymore. It's all dumb. And he flies away from Giovanni. And I forgot how he did it. He gets this island, Mewtwo does. And he calls a bunch of the strongest trainers to the island. Or he brainwashes this girl to do it. And the girl, they call these trainers to the island to fight Mewtwo. It's like a big tournament thing. And Ash Ketchum are protagonists, and his friends Brock and Misty, and Ash's Pikachu. They catch wind of this, and then they go, and it's like there's a big ass storm, and they're like, oh, the boat that we were gonna take you to the island, we're not gonna do that. It's way too stormy. You won't make it. And they're like, well, fuck that. We've got water type. Let's swim there. So they all swim there in this awful storm, and they all make it there fine. And then they pull up, and the Mewtwo's there. And he's like, all right, let's fight. And, there's this guy who's like talking shit. He's like, yeah, my Pokemon are the best. Everyone else's Pokemon totally aren't as good as mine. And Mewtwo beats the shit out of him, and he's got these like Pokeballs that steal Pokemon. Take them away, and then Mewtwo is in the back, like cloning the Pokemon into like stronger versions, but they're not they've got like these black marks on them, so you know that they're the clones. And then Ash is like, what the fuck? You won't take my Pikachu. And he like, Mewtwo takes the Pikachu, and then Ash grabs the ball, and the ball's flying away, and he gets sent back to the cloning room. And he's like, oh, wow, this is fucked up. And then they go out, and he's like, your clone Pokemon versus my real Pokemon. And they fight, and the real Pokemon are getting their ass kicked. And then Mew shows up and starts fighting Mewtwo. And then the Pikachu and the other Pikachu are slapping each other and crying. And then Ash jumps in the middle of the two. He's like, stop fighting. This isn't this isn't how Pokemon should be fighting. And he jumps in the middle of the Mew and the Mewtwo, energy balls, and he gets turned to stone. And then Pikachu, like, he's like, oh no, Ash, what the fuck? And he starts crying, and then all the other Pokemon are like, oh wow, that's fucked up. And they start crying too. And then he gets turned back to normal, and everyone's like, oh, we did it. And Mewtwo's like, wow, the power of friendship, you've shown it to me. I will never do such an evil thing again. And Ash is like, that's what I've been trying to tell you the whole time, Mewtwo. And he's like, okay, cool. And he takes all the clone Pokemon and he like flies away with them. And then Ash, Brock, and Misty are all like, well guys, we did it. Let's leave. And the girl who was brainwashed is back to normal, and she's like, I'm actually a nurse. I was the missing nurse the whole time. And Brock's like, I knew that, of course. I know what all women look like. And then the movie ends.